Greetings and salutations, my artsy friends. How is everyone today? I hope that you are all good and ready to make some art, because I sure am. Let's do a little recap of what we did on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we, on Tuesday, we took my Lucina art printable and we did some color mixing. And then we, once we were done with our color mixing, hi Barbara, we cut the flower in half. And then we created, this way or this way? Hi Joanne, how are you? Ready to get artsy, I hope? Once we cut it in half, then we, this is the card that I created with it. So I just want to keep showing you cool things that we can do with the art printable. Is it this? No, it's this way. Okay, so I cut it in half. I adhered one, so I did this little frame that was from Penny Black. And then I did a strip of washi tape just above the bottom line of that. And then these were the little strips that I trimmed off the black mat. And you know, I can't waste. So I just stuck those down. So I stuck these down, and then this one I popped up. I think you can see that with some foam tape. And then of course I used some High Supply clear saucers, and then, or clear droplets. And then of course I had to put, oh, you can't see that. Well, I don't know. You get the point though, don't you, that I put foam tape under there. Anyway, High Supply butter ladybug on there, like always. I took this sentiment and I painted it with the same paint that I had painted the flowers, and then I just I cut it out into a kind of a rectangle, and then I went around the edge with a thin pen and stapled some hand-dyed ribbon that I had from, who knows, 100 years ago. And I wanted to tuck it in like a card in a bouquet of flowers. So that's what I did with that. So for today, oh my gosh, I have the coolest idea. And it's not mine. The base of the idea is not mine. It is my friend Jeannie, who is a card making genius. So I'm going to write down her Instagram. This is who she is on Instagram, Inside Out Jeannie. So a couple of days ago, she did a video where she did some blending on some florals. And so I kind of, like, I was, that was kind of cool, and what could I do with that? And how could I wanted to play with that idea. And so this is what I kind of came up with. Is everybody ready? Did everybody see that? Inside Out Jeannie on Instagram. Okay. Everybody ready? Here we go. So what she did was, so we're taking the Lucina art printables. So this one, let's see. So for this one, I'm going to cut out the single flower. And then this one I die cut with my Trinity slimline dies, which are the bomb diggity. I'm just all about them. And this one I haven't done anything with, and this one I just cut out. So there we go, right? So what she did was she took her her distress inks, and then so let's do this one first so you can kind of see where I'm going. So she just took some ink, and then for me it was really she just kind of, well, she had florals that you could die cut. So there you go. Thanks, Lauren. So mine are either fussy cut or they're already in a A2 or slimline format. So what I did, I kind of tried to make that work for me. So for this one, I don't have to be as careful about the edges, but I'm using peeled paint and crushed olive. And my friend Tessa turned me on to this idea of putting your foam, just taping it with painter's tape on the bottom of your ink pads. Brilliant. I'm just going to tell you. Okay, so now I'm coming in with crushed olive. And I just want to, so I'm using the side of the blending tool and just kind of flicking it in there for the leaves. But I'm not going all the way to the center. I want that to be kind of light. I want a little bit of dimension there. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing here, right from the edge, right? I hope everybody's having a great Thursday. It is hot here in Arizona, but you know, my parents live in Michigan, and I tell my dad, we hibernate in the summertime like you hibernate in the wintertime. So it kind of works its way out, I think. All right, so that's that. So now I want to show you the flowers. Like once I started to do the flowers, stop it. It turned out so cool. So I'm just gonna put these back on until I go on to the next flower. Okay, so for the flower, let's do, what do I have? I have all bright colors out here. So for the centers of the flowers, let's do fossilized amber. That's pretty. And so again, I'm just gonna come with on the side. You see, I'm just doing the side of the ink blending tool. And I'm just coming in there. There. Everybody got there? Hi, Cindy. Oh my gosh, we're gonna have a great time. So I'm showing you a cool technique to use with my art printables that are available on my website and Corbiere-Scott-Designs.com. All right, so we did the stamen, right? And now let's do pink because why wouldn't we, right? So let's do picked raspberry, which is one of my, hey Renee, how are you? Picked raspberry and crushed olive, those are two of my favorite colors. I don't know why, they're just pretty. Okay, so this is what I did for the flowers to kind of create some dimension and still get some color on there in kind of a loosey-goosey way. So again, I'm just inking up one side and I'm coming in at an angle and I'm just gonna flick from the edge, right? And then go to the next petal and flick from the edge and flick from the edge, right? And it's okay if some of these flowers, or these overlap, because you know, thanks Lauren, I know, isn't it brilliant? My friend Tessa totally taught me that, Renee, and I'm telling you, like, and we make sure that you put the inky side toward the base of the ink pad. Oh my gosh, it's brilliant. Okay, so now we're gonna come back and do the other side. So we're gonna take and do that same side with some ink. And we're gonna come here, watch. And we're just gonna barely flick, right? And that is going to automatically create some dimension to your petals, right? So if you want, you can deepen it. You can come back around again, or you can just leave it. It's up to you, right? So, but you know, I don't like just one-dimensional things, so I want to add a little color in there. And if you remember watching me on the other day, this is kind of my new combo, pink and orange. I don't know why, but it's just, I'm just kind of hot for it these days. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to come in and flick some color on the edge, and then I'm just going to kind of come in a little bit from the edge of where the pink is. Can you see that? And just flick, but super lightly. I don't want to overpower the pink. I just want to complement it. So there we go. And do you see how that is automatically creating some dimension? There we go. And we're going back and doing the other side now. Sorry, I should have said that. Right? Isn't that so pretty? And maybe we want to do a little bit of orange. Do you need me to show you closer? Does that help? I hope. Okay, so now maybe I'll take some orange and come from right next to the stamen and flick out. There we go. All right. Is everybody following that? Does that make sense to everyone? The orange, oh sorry, spiced marmalade. Yeah, it's just the painter's tape like from Walmart or wherever. Easy peasy. Oh, I'm pausing, sorry. Okay, so I think I might want to add some pink to that base. Sorry, Cindy, I just do that. My brain starts and stops. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of pink on here. And that's picked raspberry, remember? Right on the edge. And I'm just going to flick the base of the stamen, because I feel like that's going to cause a little bit of dimension. Right? Do you see how that creates this nice dimensional flower, a nice there we go, right? And just a nice dimension. I don't know how better to say that. Then, so I have a couple more I can paint. I have these other ones that I can paint, but I want to show you, or ink. I want to show you another, so you know, I want it to have lots of interest and lots of detail. So so here's where we are right now, right? You see, we, like, by doing that side to side action, we kind of have this just this natural highlight here on the petals, and I love that because I feel like it's I feel like that happened kind of organically, and so like I didn't have to work super hard for it. Do you know what I mean? So I think that that gives us a great base, right? So now let's do, so we're gonna dip a brush. This is a number 2. We're gonna dip a brush in some water and we're gonna do that flick, right? A little bit more. And we're just gonna let that sit, right? We'll set that aside, and while we set that aside, we'll start painting something else, because then we won't be all gung-ho to touch it. You know how we do. We're gonna let that sit, and while the water soaks in, you know that's gonna kind of create those water spots that we all love. Okay, so now for this one, let's do blue. Ooh, look at it. I have Mermaid Lagoon and Peacock Feathers. So and maybe. Okay, so I'm gonna start with the lighter of the two, which is Peacock Feathers. I'm gonna do the same thing where I'm just gonna come in and flick some color on the corner. And let's do this big one, nice and pretty. The edges. Right, and then we're gonna go back and do the other side. Is everybody following me? Is that making sense for everybody? So now we're gonna come back and do the other side, right? And you know, we can do it light and then darken it if we want. Remember, it's so much easier to build color than to try and take color away. So just take your time, nice and slow, build those colors. So let's let that sit for a second, and then let's come in with some Mermaid Lagoon. These two play pretty well together, I think. Does it matter what order? Nah. Well, I always do, so Renee, outside in, when I'm trying to, when I'm doing this technique, I do the outside in. So middle, so I just come from the edge of the petal, right? And come in. And for the second color, I come in, see where this line that I kind of created, I just start kind of approximately there, because I want those colors to, I want you to be able to, them to both shine, you know? I want them to both play a part in this, right? So now I'm all the way around. I'm gonna turn my card and I'm gonna come back on this side. Let's start at that line. I printed mine. Hi, Rebecca. Stamen first. Yes. Well, it doesn't matter. I just thought that if you do the stamen first, then it's done. Then if some other color gets on there, it's okay. But it's harder to put a light color like yellow on top of blue. Does that make sense? There we go, right? So there's our, and I just said that, Renee, and I didn't do the stamens of any of these flowers. So there you go. Don't listen to me. Do what feels right for you. Goodness sakes. So I printed these on Northwoods Northwood's rubber stamp watercolor. It certainly is not your traditional watercolor paper. It's much thinner, but the beauty of that is that it will go through your printer, and if you take your time as you watercolor, you should have no problem using lots of water. Just let each layer dry. We're not doing that today, but I'm just saying, in the future. Let each layer dry completely, and then you should be golden. Okay, so I did all the statements. Look how pretty that yellow looks next to that blue. I just love that. All right, let's see. So let's go back to that first, right? It looks like it's already dried. I let it sit too long. No, there we go. Do you see how it's already started to create some interest, some visual interest with those water spots? It's going to get even more interesting. And if you feel like it doesn't have enough, you could come back and splatter some more with water. It's up to you. Let me see if you guys can see that. Yeah, you can see that. Okay, so we're going to set that aside again, and we're going to color these. It's like a well-oiled machine, only not here. Okay, let's see. What should we do? What do we want to do for this flower? Oh, we need to do our leaf. We only have one on this A2 printable. So remember, we're going to try and just use the corner of that ink blending tool. And if you overshoot it a little bit, it's okay. There's going to be a lot of other stuff going on. And if you, try to not, but if you do, don't cry or anything. We can fix it. We can fix it. All right, so what if we do this flower orange, because that's opposite on the color wheel with the blue. That'll be pretty. And then we can use our secondary. There we go. I love that because it looks just kind of like goldenrod, doesn't it? I agree. Leaving and coming back, it does help. Because it helps me, Rebecca, not overwork it. Because you know what? I can overwork something till the cows come home. But I will just tell you, I think it's all in the way you hold the trick to ink blenders is the way you hold it. Like, I just try to get my whole hand on there so that I control it, right? I'm in charge. I'm the boss of this ink blender. So I'm just using this corner, this edge, right? Because then you're going to get that, look at that perfect gradation that happened really quite organically. Okay, what did you ask? Let's see. For some weird reason, you are on a constant pause for me. Oh, Cindy, I'm so sorry. I keep going. And now we're going to do the other side, right? Just going to flick, like press and flick. I mean, that's the beauty of an art printable, right? You can print and play 1,000,000 times. However many you want. So this one, I'm kind of digging it, but I'm wondering if we should do, and here's the other thing. You can come back and deepen any of those colors you want as you go along, right? How are we doing on time? How are we doing on time? Whoops, whoops, whoops. What did I do? I lost myself. You can come back and deepen any of those colors as you go along. Let's see. How about for this one, let's go some more fossilized amber for the second color, because I'm feeling like that might deepen that. Oh, look how pretty that is. It's just like spun gold. So pretty. I love when somebody, one of your artsy friends, puts out a cool thing that they learned or that they thought up, and then you can come out and make that your own, right? You just have to, everybody has to make sure that they give credit where credit is due, right? Let everybody know who you were inspired by, because that's just the right thing to do. Don't claim it for your own. All right, we have one more flower to do here, and I'm thinking pink or purple. It depends. Those are the colors I brought. I mean, I have all of the colors because you know I don't deny myself any cuteness. I gotta have all the colors of all the things. Though I'm telling you, Barbara, you will love these inks because I feel like they're the so versatile, and you know I like a tool that is very versatile. I like something that I can use in many different ways. So, and inks are kind of like another paint for me. And you know, I love me some paint. So, because the beauty of distress inks or any water-based inks, for that matter, the beauty of them is that you can do so many things. Like you can blend them, right? You can paint with them. You can stamp with them. There's like a billion things that you can do with water-based products. Alcohol-based products are a horse of a different color. Okay, so that's that. So let's go back to this one, and what I wanted to show you was, so let's take the colors, the colors that we used on this are Spice Marmalade, Picked Raspberry, and Crushed Olive, and Peeled Paint. So let's start with this one because it just happens to be close. We're gonna squish this same ink, or this same ink that was on this distress pad. Barbara. Then we're going to take our paintbrush. You see, I don't waste. I've saved these, and I'm telling you, I use them with my dinner, and then I save them for art. So we're going to wet our paintbrush, right? And we're going to come down here and wet that ink and make like a little paint, right? And then we're just going to do that flick, flick, flick. And you can flick it all over if you want, right? And then I hate wasting color, but for video's sake, I will show you. So now we can come back with the pink. I'm going to do the same thing. And flick. Do you see how that's already creating dimension? Right? Then we'll do some peeled paint. Do the same idea. I'm just going to splatter it. Right. And then we're going to set that aside to dry. Now I'm going to show you some of the I'm going to show you some of the samples that I've done already, and with this same technique. So here is my individual. So you know my printables come with 3 pieces of art on each printable: a slimline, a A2, an individual piece of art, and 2 sentiments. All for $4. Come on, you can't beat that. So this is the card that I created with the individual. So I took a stitched edge rectangle die and did it on this kind of this warm gray cardstock. I just love that, and it has this texture in it that's like stripes almost. I love that. Anyway, this is from My Favorite Things. And then I had this little bit of a frame left over from this card. I told you I waste nothing. So I saved that, and I did that here. I glued that down here, and then I just popped this. I don't know if I'm showing that correctly, but anyway, I just popped it with foam, right? But I want to show you a cool thing that I did with these, this first round of art. So so you see, so here's the slim line, and you see I did lots of splatter, and then I cut it out with Trinity's. I have 2. Let's see. Here's the well, that's not a ringing endorsement for them, because look at it, it's a big mess. They wouldn't present it this way, but this is My Favorite Things A2 stitched rectangle stacks. That's what I used for this, for this card, and this one too. And then for my slim line, I used Trinity's. They just have a stitched edge slim line, and then they have a scallop edged slim line. And I use these like nobody's business, over and over and over again. So for this one, I did a stitched edge, and then I mounted it on the scallop. But, whoops. The cool thing I wanted to show you is that the little extra that I did was what Lauren was asking me how I used them. Hey, Patricia. My audio is gone. Uh-oh. Lauren, can you hear me? Whoops. Can anybody else hear me? I don't think. It's back. Okay. So, I'm taking Dina Wakley's new gloss spray. So she has a whole bunch of new colors coming out, but this was in the first round that she had come out. So these sprays are really cool because it's acrylic paint, right? So the cool thing about these is it's gonna dry differently than a water base. I mean, acrylic paint is still a water-based product, but once it's dry, it's permanent. Watercolor paint or a water-based ink, if you get it wet, it's gonna reactivate. This will not. So so I'm taking the white, and you need to shake it up, and then I'm just gonna open it and pull this out and just flick with this. And the cool thing about this is that it will dry almost shiny, like shinier than your matte watercolor. So it's a cool juxtaposition. Anyway, so now we're gonna let that sit and dry. And then I will show you I feel like I just keep chatting. So if you guys have questions or something, stop me and say, Anne, I want to say something. Quit talking all alone in your kitchen. So for the final touches, Jessica Sohn, how are you? Oh, my long lost friend. Let's see what else we got. So once our everything is dry, right? Then we can embellish with some doodads from our friends at High Supply, of course. So these are the ones that I got out. So these are kind of my new fave. They are, of course there's no name on here, but it's like a matte finished droplet. And I just really like them for just adding a little, like I like it white on white, right? And I like the little teenies because they're just kind of, and look at this thing from Trinity. Is that the most brilliant? I love that. So I'm gonna apply some of these with, thank you, Joanne. I'm gonna apply some of these with Connect glue from Gina K. I just love it because it has a nice needly nose without being too needly that it's finicky. Let's see. And it's super strong, and it's small enough that it fits in your bag if you're taking it somewhere. And I don't think it's outlandishly priced or anything. But remember I told you, I don't deny myself any cuteness. If I find something and I like it, I'll use it till the cows come home. So we're just gonna kind of randomly put some of these little doodads down, because that just takes your card to the next level, I think, right? Let's see how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is perfect. I think. Yes, no, maybe so. Okay, so now let's set that one aside to dry. My table is all huge with stuff. So, I'm digging that. Gloss spray as a splatter, because it is just a little bit shiny, so it's just a little, and it's a little bit more dimensional certainly than the watercolor, so it's got a nice, it's just nice juxtaposition next to the watercolor. And yes, Gina, or yes, Keely, I agree. That I've had this one glue pen like forever. I think because you're using such a minute amount, and it does make you be much more thrifty with your glue. Hi, Andrea. Thank you. Aren't they pretty? Okay, so let's see. Now this one, we need to put some doodads on, and this one. So these are the ones I got out, and I got these out because, and this is crazy, but these are considered Halloween colors. But I'm just going to tell you, I love them. I love them. I love them. Because the orange is just perfect. It's kind of corally, and that's kind of my jam these days, remember? Because I like the pink and orange together. And the purple, well, the cool thing about this set, I think, is that there's a bluish based purple and a reddish based purple. So you kind of get the best of both worlds. So let's do this one. So I'm thinking I should have brought that little thingy, that little pokey thingy. See, look at how pretty that is. It's like perfect. It's perfect, right? It just adds a little bit of dimension. And these I already splattered with the gloss spray. It just adds another little, you know, point of interest. So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna put like a yellow over here. And a biggie. I know it looks a little bit cloudy right now because of the white glue, but it dries clear. And come on, it's so pretty. Okay, so now I love this one. Whoops. This one that's kind of that blue purple. Oh, am I still there? Oh. Something was just spinning. Yikes. Okay. So I'm going to put a couple of these purpley, oh, that one's kind of big, but we've already committed. Gotta leave it alone. Don't overthink it. It's a card, right? So for this blue, I'm thinking we could do some of the orange. That would be pretty, right? I love this thing. So let's do, because those are opposites on the color wheel, so they're very complementary to each other. Right. Ta-da! I don't think I have any greens, but so I'm going to set that aside. And then this one, I'm feeling like we need to do something a little bit different. So I have these that are like a flat saucer. Okay, thanks, Lauren. I have these, but these seem way too jazzy for me. So maybe more of these clears, because I just love those. They're my favorite. So why wouldn't I put my favorite on there? How's everybody doing? Is everybody painting along with me, or are you just watching? Either way is fine with me. What else did I put over here? Ooh, ooh, ooh. So I have these, but these seem a little bit flashy for this card. This card seems a little more subdued. So let's fiddle around. What's everybody thinking? Yes, no, does it feel too blah, like I need some? Do I need more of a color on there? How's it look on camera? Maybe I'll have to dig in my high supply bag. So Renee, Chris has lots of high supply doodads at her store. If she doesn't, you can certainly ask her to order them. But if they're not there and you're wanting them lickety split, on my Instagram, in my link profile, there's a high supply link, and you can go right to his website and order directly from him. So, but try to go to your local stores first. But he's a small business too, so we want all those small businesses to, stay around. That's for sure. So I'm feeling like I'm gonna wrap it up. I will take pictures of everything I made and put it on my Instagram and my Facebook. And I'll try to do something where I can show you the products that I used, make a supply list of some kind so that you can recreate it. Remember, my art printables are available on my website and Corbiere-Scott and I beg of you to like and follow me on Facebook at Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs and on Instagram at Ann Corbiere-Scott Designs, and then ask to join my private Facebook group. That's where we share all kinds of fun things, and it's just a little special place. Thank you so much. Go out and do something artsy today.